In this video, you'll discover the fascinating story behind the making of the legendary film The Lion King, and why it was once accused of plagiarism. While lions rule the savannah, we rule our own time. So grab your crown and show who's the real king here. Sit back, relax, and let's journey into the magical world of the African savannah. At first, The Lion King was treated as nothing more than a side project. Disney had placed all its big hopes on Pocahontas. Even the creators themselves weren't too confident about the film. And yet, against all odds, The Lion King went on to become one of the most successful animated movies in cinema history. For comparison, The Lion King earned a massive $968 million worldwide, while Pocahontas brought in $346 million. But you might be surprised to learn that the original version of The Lion King was very different. At first, the story was supposed to focus on a conflict between lions and baboons. Timon and Pumbaa were imagined as Simba's childhood friends, and Simba himself was meant to grow into a lazy, scruffy character manipulated by Scar's schemes. In fact, Rafiki wasn't even a wise mandrill. He was originally written as a cheetah. Even the title went through major changes. Early working titles included King of the Kalahari and the King of Beasts. For a while, the film was even called The King of the Jungle. But eventually, the creators realized lions don't live in the jungle. And so, the movie was finally given the name we all know today, The Lion King. After the film's release, many people accused The Lion King of being a ripoff of an old Japanese anime called Kimba the White Lion. In fact, Matthew Broderick, the voice of adult Simba, admitted that he originally thought he had signed on to a remake of that very series. The similarities are striking. The main character is named Kimba, which sounds almost identical to Simba. There's also a lion with a scar on his face, a wise monkey resembling Rafiki, a heroic father who dies, and several other parallels. Still, the creators of The Lion King insisted that they had never even heard of Kimba the White Lion. The Japanese studio behind Kimba was even encouraged to sue Disney for plagiarism, but they refused, knowing it would be nearly impossible to win a legal battle against such a massive company with an army of top lawyers. Of course, The Lion King also carries echoes of Shakespeare's Hamlet, with its themes of revenge, betrayal, and legacy. But it isn't a direct adaptation. Instead, it's an original story that borrows timeless themes and places them in an entirely new setting. And here's a detail you might not know. The characters' names all carry special meanings in African languages. Simba literally means lion. Rafiki means friend. Pumbaa translates as foolish or simpleton. Banzai means to skulk. Shenzi is uncouth. And Mufasa was actually the name of a historical king of a people in Kenya before British colonization. As for Scar, that wasn't his real name at all, but just a nickname he earned after receiving his trademark scar. His true name, revealed later in lore, was Taka, which in Swahili means trash or dirt. This detail is even referenced in the prequel remake, Mufasa the Lion King. And one more fun fact. Scar's iconic facial scar was actually modeled after the famous look of Tony Montana, played by Al Pacino in Scarface. In the movie, hyenas are portrayed as not so bright and mostly comical side characters. But in reality, hyenas are highly intelligent and social animals. They live in complex hierarchies and often hunt in groups, a far cry from the clumsy, goofy hyenas we see in The Lion King. Interestingly, during early development, the hyenas were meant to be much darker and more menacing, but the creators decided to add humor and quirky personalities to balance out the film's otherwise heavy tone. Here's another fun fact. All of the lions you hear in the movie weren't voiced by lions at all, but by tigers. As it turns out, tigers have a much more powerful and dramatic roar than lions do. To help the animators capture the essence of the King of Beasts, Disney actually brought a live lion and even a lion cub into the studio. It was a little nerve-wracking, but it definitely paid off. To make the African setting feel authentic, animators traveled to Kenya to study the landscapes, plants, and wildlife firsthand. They worked closely with wildlife experts to ensure the animal behavior in the film looked as realistic as possible. And yes, The now iconic phrase, Hakuna Matata, was something the filmmakers first heard while in Africa. For even greater accuracy, the animation team also spent time in zoos and safari parks, observing lions, hyenas, buffalo, and other animals, carefully studying their movements, body language, and even facial expressions. The Lion King gave the world countless memorable quotes that have stood the test of time. One of the most iconic is Mufasa's powerful line, "Remember who you are," a phrase that still resonates as a timeless life lesson. And of course, Timon and Pumbaa's unforgettable Hakuna Matata, which translates from Swahili as "no worries," became a global catchphrase that people continue to use in everyday life. Originally, Timon and Pumbaa were supposed to sing a silly little song about eating bugs, but then the writers remembered the phrase Hakuna Matata, which they had first heard in Africa. Lyricist Tim Rice even joked that it reminded him of Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo from Cinderella. And just like that, the legendary Hakuna Matata song was born. At first, Timon and Pumbaa were created as minor side characters, but their humor, charm, and friendship quickly made them fan favorites, turning them into two of the most beloved characters in the film. And here's the amazing part: the friendship between meerkats and warthogs isn't just a Disney invention. In real life, these animals are often found living close together, with meerkats even helping warthogs by cleaning parasites off their skin. Music plays a vital role in shaping the atmosphere of The Lion King. One of the most powerful contributions came from composer Hans Zimmer, whose breathtaking score heightened the emotional impact of every single scene. But it was the unforgettable songs by Elton John and Tim Rice that truly turned the film into a cultural phenomenon, even winning an Academy Award for Best Original Song. Interestingly, Elton John was hesitant at first about joining the project, but after reading the script, he immediately agreed, and the rest is history. The Lion King is more than just an animated movie. It's a story of friendship, love, responsibility, and finding your place in the world. Its magic has captured hearts for decades, with its characters and music becoming timeless symbols for an entire generation. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, my friends, Hakuna Matata.